Hey everybody, this is your girl Renelle Arlo 22. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. So we have a lot to discuss today, so let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, I'm gonna go ahead and have you hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and it helps me as well. So it's no secret that I've taken a hiatus from YouTube. There has been a lot that has transpired between family, new jobs, just a lot of things in general. So I want to go ahead and update y'all before I even begin to continue further on with this channel, giving you guys an explanation as to why, I haven't been on here and continuing from there. So I am a respiratory therapist and I work in the hospital area. So when COVID hit, it was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of sick people, and the frontline workers were fully needed like crazy at that time, and it was just really chaotic. In the midst of that, a lot of staffing shortages were happening. A lot of hospitals could not meet the demands. With there being so many sick people, they had no choice but to hire in more healthcare workers to come and assist. There were a lot of nurses doing travel nursing, a lot of therapists doing travel, and just a lot of people within the healthcare, whether you were a patient care tech, if you were in x-ray, just whatever, basically you were needed. At my last job, they ended up furloughing quite a few people because basically a lot of people were scared to come to the hospital back then. I mean, I don't blame them. Then when people be scared and they had other health issues going on, it would frighten them and they wouldn't want to come in, and so they would get sick at home. And so they would have no choice but to come in. They ended up furloughing people in the beginning, but then they ended up bringing us back maybe about 3 months later. We continue from there. Might I add, when it comes down to doing travel, and with healthcare workers being in such high demand, the pay went up. And so a lot of people got into travel, just in traveling in general, because the pay was phenomenal. It was so good. And so I caught the end of the stick because I was still full-time at my other position, and so I didn't start traveling until November of 2021. And so that was right around the time where I ended up doing my last video. When that came along, I ended up diving in, and that's basically why I ended up not being on YouTube as much. And I ended up taking a position down in Texas, and at the hospital that I worked at, it was a lot. They had not a lot of beds, but it was a level 1. When they say it's a level 1, that means it is a teaching hospital and they accept any type of trauma. And so basically I ended up doing that, and it was a lot. So I really didn't have a lot of time to commit as much as I would have liked to YouTube. There were other things that have transpired that had accumulated to me not being able to resume as well. I had deaths. My uncle that I was really close to ended up passing from a chronic issue. It was a lot. It still is a lot, but I've been healing, and I've been staying strong in general for my family. As far as that goes, we are continuing on, and things are looking up from here. He's in a much better place. He was a warrior, and in heaven he is still a warrior, and I know that he fought a good fight. I ended up going on some trips as well. I ended up going to New Orleans, which y'all saw those vlogs. If you haven't checked them out, I'll link them. I ended up also going to St. Louis, and where else did I go? I went to a lot of places. While I was down in St. Louis, there was another tragedy that happened. My cousin ended up passing away from COVID. It was a lot with that as well because I was close with her. All of the death that I was experiencing put me in a bad headspace, and I really needed time to really recuperate, really get my thoughts together, try to heal as much as I could. And I'm still healing. My headspace is not anywhere near what it was then. Thank God for that. But as far as that goes, it was a lot. But you know, at the end of the day, death happens, things happen. There's nothing that you can really do when it comes down to death, because we're all gonna pass one day. They were two people that I was really, really close with, and even though we had our differences, I still loved them with all of my heart because I grew up with them. Like, I grew up with them to the point to where they were like a brother and sister to me. It was a lot, but we're getting through it. But that was one of the reasons that I ended up not being able to continue YouTube at the moment as well. And in the midst of all of that, there were still some good things that were going on. I ended up taking a trip with some girls that I met on my assignment down in Texas, and we ended up going to the Dominican Republic. I do have a vlog on that, so I will be uploading that sometime after this. We had so much fun. One of the things about traveling, you meet new people, and you know, you meet people that could have possible common interests and stuff, and that's what I did. I ended up getting a chance to meet some wonderful women, and we ended up taking a trip to the DR. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I will be starting a new assignment down in Texas soon, and so you never know, we'll probably go out again. We'll see. That's one of the reasons too. It's like I really wanted time to not deal with things that, you know, put too much on my head. Within the hospital arena, there were so many people passing. It was a lot, and I wanted to do things that would get me in a better headspace. When it comes down to YouTube, it was wonderful, and it still is wonderful, but I needed time for myself, meeting new people, experiencing new things, getting to travel. All of those things are things that I really love, and I really needed time to recuperate and to just, you know, get back into my sense of self, you know? And so I'm really ecstatic, I'm really happy, and I'm just continuing on. I'm ready, I'm fresh. I have a fresh start, I have a fresh headspace. I'm ready to get back into the things that I love. When it came down to the pandemic and stuff, and being in a bad headspace with everything that I had going on, I ended up gaining a big chunk of my weight back. That put me in an even worse headspace. I really didn't know which direction I really needed to go, you know? So I really felt that I needed to take that time to actually relax, try to not put too much pressure on me. One of the reasons that I started YouTube in general was to basically document my weight loss journey. When you're not doing as good as you would like to, it can put you in a bad headspace even more. I just didn't feel like doing anything. I didn't feel like stepping in front of the camera, because I felt like I would need to give y'all a big ass excuse on like why I wasn't losing weight and why I was gaining and stuff. And I'm like, I didn't want to continue to do that, you know? I wanted to start over fresh, you know? And sometimes that's what's needed. If I don't feel like I'm in a good headspace to do anything that I feel would be beneficial to somebody else, I don't want to get on a camera and like tell y'all like, hey, yeah, y'all need to go do such and such, or y'all need to sit up here and go and drink these protein shakes and da-da-da-da, it's gonna grow your ass. But it's like, you know, it's not benefiting y'all, or it could, you know, in any type of way, because words are words, but it wouldn't be coming from the heart, you know? It wouldn't be coming from my true self. That's one of the reasons why I took my hiatus as well, because like if I'm not feeling it, like, no, I'm not going to. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. But it is what it is. Hey girl. Hi, my doggy. You wanna be on camera, girl? Sit. I love you. But yeah. And one of the last and final things that ended up transpiring is I ended up purchasing a house. I ended up going ahead and saving my fund. When I tell you the amount of money that was being placed into, okay, do you got a problem, son? Look at that. You see that, girl? Are you okay? What? What is it? You want to say hey? You want to say hey to the camera? Oh, I love you. This is Ada, everybody. It's my baby. Yeah? My baby? Yeah? You're my baby. You want to say? You want to say? Oh, sorry. She's so that girl. What's up? She do this all the time. Like she get up here, like she just really trying to sniff out and sniff the whole environment and trying to see what the fuck is up. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, girl, chill, sit. Okay, let's continue. So when it came down to the pandemic and people doing travel, when I tell you the moolah was great. People ended up paying off their student debt. They ended up paying off their cars. They ended up paying off their houses. Like, I was like, wow, really? That was one of the reasons why I ended up getting into travel, because I was like, so you mean to tell me I can sit up here and I can pay off my house, pay off my car, and go from there? I can give me a house and pay off the house? Like, I was like, yes, I'm sold. Like, fuck this full-time shit. I'm like, let me go ahead and go travel. The money was good. I mean, yes, you have to pay for, like, if you do travel out of state, you could stay in state and make sure that you're within 50 miles away from your actual residence that you actually stay at. And then, you know, you get a stipend, you get all these extra perks and stuff, along with the traveling in general. They reimburse you for your gas and all that good stuff. And so, you know, it was a win-win. And so with the money that I ended up getting from that, I ended up putting a lot of it into purchasing a home. I had a wonderful realtor. He had the process smooth as hell, and I was like, okay, great. I ended up taking time off from traveling. I was supposed to take a month off, but a month ended up turning into 3 months. Yeah, at the time I was licensed in only Arkansas and Texas, so they didn't have any openings in Arkansas. And they also didn't have like the pay that I wanted down in Texas at the moment. It is what it is. I've since then have gotten a gig, and so I'm starting back and going from there. And I'm also getting licensed in Missouri and Louisiana, so that will broaden my ability to go ahead and fluctuate so that I can, you know, rack up my coins. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist. And last but not least, I caught COVID back in June. Oh my gosh, it wasn't as bad as the first round of COVID. You know, of course there wasn't a vaccine, and there was really no way for people to honestly fight it unless they had a good immune system. And, you know, they just had a good comeback. And even people that were healthy were still getting sick and dying in general as well. But since then, they've come out with vaccines, and I have gotten all 3 of the available vaccines that were available to me in healthcare. When it comes down to certain hospitals, the majority of hospitals want you to have your COVID vaccines now. And so you know, I had no choice. But even if I did have a choice, I would have still taken the vaccine anyway, because when it comes down to it, you know, the vaccine isn't what kills you. Because at the end of the day, we don't really know what's in a lot of the vaccines that we've taken. But at the same time, like, we still take them. So, but as far as that goes, yeah, I ended up catching COVID. I received it from another family member, and yeah, they were coughing around me. I was like, "Are you okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just got a sinus infection." And I'm gonna tell you this: how you know that you have, or you may potentially have COVID? COVID can mimic a sinus infection. There have been people in the in healthcare that I've worked with that they would sit up here and come to work and be like, "Oh man, I got a sinus infection and all this," and I'm like, and I thought I had a sinus infection, but then family member ended up testing positive, and they called and said, "You know, I just found out I got COVID," and I'm like, "Ooh," and I've been around y'all. So yes, I ended up taking 2 tests. Well, I ended up taking 3 tests because I ended up quarantining. According to the CDC, they want you to quarantine, I think, for 3 to 5 days. And if you don't have any symptoms, you can go around people as long as you have your mask on. But I ended up just staying away from people for 14 days, maybe a little longer than that. And in the midst of that, the most that I had was, it mimicked the cold. I had a cough, I had a runny nose, sore throat for a little while, a mild headache, no fever, thank God. And yeah, like, I was a little bit fatigued, but thank God, like, it didn't turn into anything other than that. Thank you, Jesus. But as far as that goes, everybody has since then recovered. I had a couple other family members that caught it from them as well, and we've all since then recovered, and yeah, life is good. So that is the gist of basically me taking a hiatus. Yeah, it's been a good time and also a not so good time, but at the end of the day, I am choosing to remain positive, sticking with just being in a better headspace, getting back to the things that I know that I love to do, and just getting slowly but surely back into the things that I know that I love, and just getting back to myself. I am still on my weight loss journey. Look, these weight loss journeys and these journeys in general just do not end. They're not going to end, because at the end of the day, it's something that's lifelong. And even though I've gained weight, I mean, I'm not gonna let it define me. Weight fluctuates. You're gonna gain, you're gonna lose. It is what it is. Now, would I like to lose and keep it off? Yes, but I know that I have to do the work for that, and my discipline can be a little bit but then it could be a little bit but then, you know, it's all over the place. I'm no longer on Weight Watchers. And I am tracking on MyFitnessPal. I will be doing a separate video updating y'all on my weight gain, on what I'm going to be doing to go ahead and get back on my weight loss journey, and basically just continuing on this journey overall. Lots of different like little recipes to try. I'm gonna take y'all down on my trips with me down to Texas. I'm gonna let y'all know how my stuff is going as far as my assignments, and there's gonna be lots of more things to come as far as that goes. So just stay tuned. Let's get this show back on the road. I'm excited. Like, I don't think I was as excited before I started making this video but I'm excited now. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support, for your love, just everything in general. It really means a lot. If you like this video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. But in general, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.